Hey guys, welcome back. So today is day 13 and I've started by moving Judah around the round pen, practicing his inside turns and practicing approaching and just trying to have him sniff me and touch me, which he's been doing pretty good the past few days. He's still, you can see he's pretty skittish and still not very comfortable with me being too close to him. So we're still just working on touching, and we're working on our inside turns. He's actually really good with his inside turns. One of the first things that I taught him was to turn and face me and to look at me with both eyes and both ears. I did not want him to put his hindquarters towards me because I did not want him to possibly kick out or strike me. That's also another risk that is when they turn and face you and you're facing them head on, is they could reach out and strike you. But Judah seems to want to flee more instead of stand his ground and strike or rear up at me. So now I'm just going to move around his body and practice keeping his head on me and yielding his hindquarters around. And so you can see I reach for him there and he leaves, but then I pat my thigh there to get his attention, to get his head back facing me. And that's very good. So he reached out and touched my hand. We've been doing a lot of practice of that, training him to reach out to touch me. He's still not quite sure about me. See right there, he backs away. But then he reaches forward to touch me. You can see he is interested. He is definitely interested in me, but he's still not very sure at what could happen. So this is me testing to see if I could even reach out and grab his halter and just touch either side of his nose. And so I can't quite get to the halter yet, but he is getting more and more comfortable with me reaching out towards his face. So I lose his attention again, and then I gain it back. So now I've gotten some alfalfa hay in my bucket, and I'm just practicing him reaching out and touching me, and reaching for the halter some. At this angle, it's kind of hard to see, but I give him some hay when he reaches to touch me, and then I walk away. Give him some space. He decides to leave, but then changes his mind. And so he comes in because it is just so tempting, but yet he's not sure. That's good. So he touches me, and I reward him for touching me. So I'm actually reaching to pet his face, but I get some nose instead, but that's okay. I want him to get more and more comfortable with me reaching out towards him. He's really enjoying that. Something I've noticed with Judah is that he has kind of a time limit. He'll be okay for, let's say, two minutes, and then he leaves. So right here he leaves like he has enough, so I get his attention back, so he turns and faces me. And so he's just licking and chewing on some of the hay on the ground, and considering coming back. Alright, so now I have a lead rope on him, and we are just standing here in each other's presence, just relaxing. He is waiting for my next command. So I pick up the lead rope, and I'm going to send him around. His reaction is has a lot of energy, but yet he does as I ask. There you go. Very good. So we're just traveling around. He actually has a really nice soft bend in his neck, which I'm loving. And he's giving to the lead rope. He's actually pretty soft on the lead rope. Even though a few times in this session he did try to pull away from me, but then still came back. So he hit the end of the line and then still came back into me, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So now I'm just going to pet him and reward him. That's good. So he stepped in. So I'm just going to pet him again. Just going to try to get those touches in to get him used to me. Something spooked him right there. I still don't know. Some mysterious thing. Could have been Ella moving in the background. So just reaching in. Just trying to touch his muzzle some. Touch around that halter. Grab the halter. Grab his chin. He actually placed his muzzle in my hand. Just holding his muzzle for a little bit and then backing off. He's got some flies going on with him, but he's not quite ready for me to put fly spray on him yet. That would probably really upset him. There you go, so just holding his muzzle a little bit. He parks out for a moment, so I was thinking that he was going to go to the restroom, but I guess he decided against it. So now I'm working on his left side, which is his more uncomfortable side. Reach forward and just give him a pet. He'll let me. So now I'm trying to get a little bit more on that left side. He's stuck straight at me, and so I want to move him around with his left side facing me more. That's good. So we're just working on some giving to pressure here, and then rewarding with touch. He's nibbling on my hand a little bit. He's coming along. So I'm trying to work on grabbing that halter, grabbing it, wiggling it, touching him on the left side of his face. He's very uncomfortable being handled on his left side, probably because everything happened on the left side when he was captured. And then I'm just rubbing his face, messing with his halter, trying to get him comfortable with these things. This is going to be very important later on that I'm able to handle all that. Alright, so this next session I have the whip, and I'm just rubbing him down with it, desensitizing him, getting him used to it, being able to touch past his face. I still can't reach and touch his neck or his shoulders yet. He's pretty skittish, pretty nervous, so I'm just petting him down the side on his right side, and then he got locked up there, so I backed up to get him to unlock, and then I'm going to rub his head, and then down the side again. Just nice, gentle strokes. Let him sit there and think about it for a moment. Reward, which he backs up. There he does again. So I use the lead rope and I yield his hindquarters a little bit. I try to stand a little bit more on his side. He's okay with me facing him head on, but still uncomfortable with me being at his side. So all of this is just a work in progress. So now we're working a little bit on the left side, trying to get around on that left side some. Let's see, he's pretty frozen in his shoulders and doesn't want to move. So now I'm going to get the whip on that left side, and I'm just going to pet him with it, rub his neck, rub his shoulder, rub his head. See, he's handling this well for right now. He's actually got his head bent a little bit towards me, which is good. So he is turning around, pivoting. He's kind of blocking me so that I can't get to that side. He's very protective of that left side. And so we're just working at it, giving him a little bit of pressure, rubbing him down with it, and then when he's good, giving him a release of pressure, and then going back and continuing. Just trying to show him it's no big deal. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Just gonna pet you a little bit and then quit and then keep going. So now I'm trying to work a little bit with my hand on that left side, touching his muzzle, grabbing the halter some. So now I'm going to yield his hindquarters around, just trying to get him unlocked, thinking about something else. Oh, so we have a little bit of a freak out there, but you see he hits the end of the line and he quits, which is fantastic. Previous sessions, he would hit the end of that line, straighten up, and just rip that lead rope out of my hand. So he's really starting to figure out that I do have him caught with the halter and the lead rope, and that I am attached to the end of it and I'm not going anywhere. You can see he's really uncomfortable on this side. I'm trying to block him with my hand a little bit, pet him on that left side of the face. He actually handles it a lot better, so I just completely stop and we just hang out. So I walk backwards, take some pressure off, put pressure on the lead rope for him to follow me, and he does. So we go into some leading practice. So if you notice, I'm watching him out of my peripheral because he's pretty close to me and he's almost directly behind me, which is making me a little bit uncomfortable. If he gets spooked, I don't want him to jump on top of me. So I try to get him just a little bit more where I could be on his left side. He's not really that comfortable with it, but he does allow me to be there. And so I'm fixing my lead rope, and I'm gonna just reward and pet him quietly. And he's handling that really well, and just rubbing in between his eyes. And just standing there looking at each other. And I just reach forward and unclip his lead rope. And what I really like is that he actually stays with me for a little bit, and I leave first. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it.